Have you ever tried to learn a new language but felt frustrated and lost? Well, for today's video, I have for you 10 tips to learn English faster and more efficiently. My name is Cristina, and let's begin. Tip number 1, find your motivation. Why are you learning English? Do you want to study abroad? Is it for a future job or career? Are you traveling to a new country and want to be able to communicate with the locals? Do you simply just love to learn new languages? Or are you trying to impress a boy or girl? When you started your language learning journey, it was for a reason. Your reason could have been one of the reasons mentioned above, or something totally different. When we are focused on learning lots of grammar or vocabulary, for example, we sometimes become overwhelmed and lose track of why we started to learn a language in the first place. So find that motivation and try not to let it slip out of your mind throughout your educational journey. Returning to that initial motivation and visualizing it will help you remember why you started and help you continue to succeed. Number 2, practice makes perfect. Now, if you want to learn a language, you have to practice constantly to continue to learn and progress. Just looking at a new word or page in your grammar book once, attending a few English classes, or watching 3 English films will not be enough. Learning a language can be a never-ending journey. There will always be something new to learn, even if your objective is only to study until you become fluent. It is still not something that can be mastered in a short period of time. The activities you choose throughout your language learning journey should be constant and consistent. Such activities may include attending some English classes or taking a course at your local or online language academy, not missing many or any of those classes, always doing your homework, and studying every week. Even 15 minutes a day counts. Every little bit counts. Reading books and watching TV shows, films, or movies a few times a week. Joining a conversation class and going every week. Watching YouTube videos in English, even if you're just listening while you're cooking or cleaning. Downloading language learning apps on your phone like Duolingo and using them daily or at least a few times a week. Tip number 3, watch movies, films, TV shows, and online videos in English. This option is fun, affordable, and a great excuse to watch lots of TV. Watching a few hours weekly of movies, films, TV shows, documentaries, or even YouTube videos in English can improve your listening and conversational skills. If you have a beginner or elementary level of English, start with subtitles in your native tongue. If your level is intermediate, try watching with subtitles in English. If your level is advanced, try watching with no subtitles. Some popular TV shows that you can watch in order to improve your English may include Friends, The Simpsons, The Office, How I Met Your Mother, or even Modern Family. Some movies that you can watch may include Toy Story, Notting Hill, The Wizard of Oz, The Hunger Games, The King's Speech. Finally, you can also watch and follow some YouTube channels similar to my own or not. There are many channels to choose from. It depends on what you are searching for. You can search by interest, topic, and/or level of English. Read books, magazines, and newspaper articles. Read anything. Try to read a little every day. Even 15 minutes or half an hour counts in the long run. When we read, we can expand our vocabulary, improve our grammar as well as our writing skills. Through reading, we are also provided with a repetition of words we have already learned, which helps us remember them and to be able to use them in different contexts. You can read anything from classic literature, newspaper articles, websites, social media feeds, fashion or travel magazines, or even the ingredients on your box of cereal. If it's in English, it counts. Remember to choose reading material that suits your level of English and personal interests. If you don't like what you are reading or it's too difficult, you will lose your motivation. If you are a bit nervous or find it hard to read in English, besides finding a book that suits your level, try dual language books. These books have the English text on one page and the translation into your own language on the other page. This way, if there are a lot of words or sentences you don't understand, you don't have to look up each word in the dictionary, and you can just look at the page in your own language for clarification instead. Tip number 5, join a conversation group. Students often mention that listening and conversation skills can be the most difficult to master. They find it easier to understand English when they are reading it in a text, but when it comes to speaking the language, they find it difficult to find the words to express themselves. Even when it comes to listening activities, they find it hard to comprehend what is going on. Conversation groups can be beneficial for the student because they help them sharpen those listening and speaking skills by exposing them to a wide range of group activities, topics, and vocabulary and an appropriate level of English that they may not otherwise encounter in their normal day-to-day lives. Conversation groups many times keep things interesting for the student by including a mixture of games, debates, discussions, presentations, and more to help students improve their conversational English. Finally, they are also a fun way to make new friends and meet new people that share your common interest of learning English. Tip number 6, stop translating everything. Students translate either from their native language to a foreign language or from a foreign language into their native language all the time. It's something that is completely natural and difficult to avoid when you first start to learn a language. However, students should try to avoid translating everything in their heads, as not every expression, sentence, or paragraph can be translated word for word, and at the same time maintain its original meaning. Also, avoiding this habit of translating everything can help the student learn to think in English more easily and naturally, as well as build their confidence in situations where they may have to communicate or express themselves verbally or through writing. Some tips to help students may include drawing images or symbols next to new vocabulary instead of translating it into your own language, using monolingual dictionaries where the words and their definitions are written in the same language. These dictionaries help you to train your brain to focus on the meaning of the actual word based on the context or definition given instead of its direct translation. Reading a lot and writing down new words, expressions, or phrases you encounter in a notebook. Try studying and reviewing these words, expressions, and phrases every week. Eventually, you'll recognize them and know how to use them in the appropriate context without having to translate them every time you encounter them. Tip number 7, keep a language notebook or journal. Whenever you watch something on TV, attend a language lesson, or read a book in English, try to write down any new English words, phrases, or expressions that you come across with and don't understand. Get a new notebook that you love and that makes you happy. In your notebook, write down the word, expression, or phrase that you don't understand, its meaning, and then some example sentences to help you know how to use it properly when you're studying. Use this notebook only for this purpose. Study those new words, phrases, or expressions and review them every week until you memorize them. This will not only help you to recognize and be able to understand them whenever you encounter them in the future, but also it will help you expand your vocabulary. Tip number 8, immerse yourself in the language. One of the best ways to learn a language is to surround yourself with that language. Obviously, the best way to do this is to live abroad, but not everyone has the means to do so. You can still immerse yourself in the language without leaving the town or city where you live by doing the things I have mentioned in this video. Listening to the radio, online videos, or podcasts in English while you're commuting to work, cooking, cleaning, or preparing for bed. Watching movies, films, TV shows, or documentaries in English with or without subtitles. Attending classes and joining a conversation group. Making English-speaking friends through English classes or through a conversation group online like meetup.com or through your local language academy. Reading books, novels, or articles that suit your interests and level of English. Using English learning applications on your mobile phone or tablet while you're waiting to see your doctor, for your class to begin, or for your train to arrive. Tip number 9, be consistent. When you're learning a new language, you must be consistent, and the best way to do so is to form a habit and stick to a routine. This routine may involve attending an English class or two every week, watching movies or TV shows with English subtitles a few times a week, reading a few pages from an English book daily, attending a conversation class once a week, or even reviewing your study notes and vocabulary notebooks weekly. Whatever you decide to do in order to learn English and achieve your goals, you must be consistent. What helps me when establishing a new habit is creating a schedule. For example, Mondays, go to English class and read a few pages of an English book. Tuesdays, review or study for half an hour. Wednesdays, go to English class and watch a TV show in English. Thursdays, watch a movie with English subtitles. Fridays, go to conversation class. Saturdays, study and review what I learned during the week. And finally, Sundays, day off. And finally, tip number 10, be realistic. Be realistic about your English learning goals. You can't expect to learn a language overnight or advance to another level in a week. It takes time and consistency. When creating your schedule, you'll have to recognize your own limitations in terms of time or ability and learn to work with those limitations. As mentioned earlier, if you can only dedicate 15 minutes a day to studying, it's better and more effective than making unrealistic goals and then not being able to achieve them and losing motivation as a result. Therefore, plan for what you can realistically achieve. Everyone is different, and what works for someone may not work for you. So there you have it, 10 tips for learning English faster and more effectively. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos. Bye for now. Mwah!